one thing that you have to give them is that they're fast. They're rolling these out in a matter of days. These proclamations and a lot of the EOs that you're seeing. I think one of the things that we're looking forward to with David Sachs in the administration as the AI crypto czar is that the low-hanging fruit, Bitcoin, stable coins, smart contract platforms, all of that, a regulatory uncertainty will be settled down. I think it's been a shame that crypto projects have been offshoring outside of the U.S. to avoid regulation and a lot of the consternation that comes from it. I think a few of the things that sit on the outskirts of that, we'll have to see. I think the SEC and the administration still want to be protective over consumer investors, and so we'll see. I think a steady balance there. But we're seeing Bitcoin, stablecoins, Ethereum, Solana, smart contract platforms that already have a lot of global adoption and a lot of industry adoption. I think those will get a little bit of the red carpet now.
It sounds like the dust still needs to settle in terms of the regulatory changes that are going to take place. But we have seen Bitcoin and other crypto move pretty aggressively ahead of this, anticipating that this relaxation and maybe standardization of regulations would come. Has all of the gain already been built into this, and now we wait and see? Or how would you anticipate? Have companies come back to the United States yet?
Yeah, I think I think on the buildup, there were a lot of gains and prices across the board. So I think the market is in sort of a standstill, waiting to see what actually happens concretely. So I think you're seeing that, right? I think from a prediction perspective, understanding not only David's background but where everything is with ETFs and the adoption that we see from firms like BlackRock and Vanguard and other large investment firms and houses, is that I think there are a few things that are going to happen in 2025, to start to happen in 2025, and then continue through this administration. I think the biggest one will be that securities will be tokenized. I think that that's been a long-standing concept that has had starts and stops. But I think things like stocks, bonds, real estate will actually start to get tokenized as digital assets during this administration. And that's a huge sea change to how things work today and the legitimacy and credibility of digital assets and crypto. I think stocks and bonds and real estate going on chain is probably the biggest thing that we see at Kindred happening in this administration.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message. To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke, especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, when he has the ability to perfect what he says. Ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed, knowing the history of his people, to stand there and allow such things to be said. Ethnic cleansing has been a crime against humanity. And I stand here today in the well to denounce what was said, to denounce what the President said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment, and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I. And I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. On some issues, it is better to stand alone than not stand at all. On this issue, I stand alone, but I stand for justice. I yield back the balance of my time.
Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why. Lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have the Trump administration moving fast. We have David Sachs, the crypto czar, speeding up the regulation for stable coins. And then also tokenizing these securities, stocks, bonds, real estate. And we know once everything gets tokenized and put on blockchain, that's going to put a lot of people out of work because it'll be able to run itself without a human involved. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have Representative Al Green speaks on Trump's comments on Gaza. But we know all this started under Biden. Remember, guys, it's nothing but the Hegelian dialectic. The movie continues, and then Green speaks about impeachment. But, guys, something is cooking. Something big is about to happen. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have Musk, a special government employee. And he only gets 130 days unless extended within a year. And that means he's there for a purpose. And one of my good friends told me to go watch the interview with his father on Vlad. And I wish I would have never watched it because you definitely have to put your tin hat on. You can't make this stuff up. He said that Elon was in Rolls Royce's private planes, and it gets even crazier, but I'm not going to touch on that subject. Now we have Robinhood removes the Super Bowl betting contracts after pushback from regulator CFTC, and they don't want them to get any of that gambling money. If they're going by the rules, it shouldn't be any issue. But we know the Alphabet boys are not going to allow you to get any of that money. Now we have USPS resumes accepting packages from China and Hong Kong, and we know some people were about to be mad. Those Temu and Shein products were about to go back to the shipper, but eventually, guys, it's going to happen. The only thing they're trying to do is get you prepared. The battle between China and the United States is about to happen. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we know the end game is the metaverse. And we have Cosm getting ready for the Super Bowl. And Cosm makes you feel like you're at the Super Bowl. But eventually, guys, you'll be sitting at home and feeling like you're at the game or traveling the world from your couch. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Elon Musk officially serving the Trump administration as a special government employee. Our Eamon Javers is in D.C. to explain what this means for Musk and his influence. Morning, Eamon.
Yeah, Carl, that's right. The White House confirmed this week that Elon is serving as a special governmental employee. Now, that's a specific legal category inside the federal government, and it comes with certain requirements and restrictions. A White House official told CNBC Tuesday that Musk will comply with all the rules and regulations that govern special governmental employees. And according to the Federal Office of Government Ethics, that means Musk won't be able to serve for more than 130 days during any given year. Now, we don't know on what date that clock started on Musk's job, but it is ticking, so that's a sense of urgency for him. If he wants to serve longer than about 6 months, the White House is going to need to find another role for him. Now, special governmental employees are also required to file public financial disclosure documents within 30 days of assuming their position. Given Musk's vast holdings, those documents could make for interesting reading. The other rule that could come into play here is that special governmental employees are prohibited under the criminal statute from personally and substantially participating in any particular matter that would have a direct and predictable effect on the employee's financial interests. Now, given Musk's vast holdings, that could mean he can't be involved in anything affecting the auto industry related to Tesla, NASA and space exploration that's related to SpaceX, media or social media related to his X platform, and even infrastructure projects that the Boring Company may have an interest in.
Robinhood Markets is pulling back on its plan to offer Super Bowl betting contracts. The company said that the Commodity Futures Trading Commission raised concerns that those contracts might be illegal and basically directed them to stop offering them. Robinhood's general counsel said that they believed they were in compliance with all applicable regulations, but they did agree to the CFTC's request.
New this hour, the United States Postal Service says it will continue accepting all international inbound mail, including packages from China and Hong Kong. It had announced yesterday that it's going to stop accepting those packages because of President Trump's executive order targeting exemption on goods less than $800. The Postal Service now saying it's going to work with Customs Border Protection to implement efficient collection mechanism for new China tariffs to ensure the least disruption for package delivery. This was a big deal because you can imagine that Postal Service just stopped anything out of China and Hong Kong. We're not going to deliver it.
I was from Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans on Sunday. If you want to go see that, now it'll still cost a small fortune if you can't get there in person. One company says it has a solution to make you feel like you're right on the sidelines. CNBC media and sports reporter Alex Sherman is live in New Orleans with more. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Kelly. Yeah, this company, Cosm, has designed venues kind of like the Sphere almost in Las Vegas, but for televised viewings of events. So there's two of these already in existence. One's in Los Angeles and one's in Dallas. Two more are coming in this country in 2026 in Detroit and Atlanta. But I sat down with the CEO of Cosm and I said, look, what is the grand plan for this company? Take a listen to what he told me.
We want to have Cosm as a brand name known globally, wherever we are. We went from pitching this thing over Zoom and people going, what are you talking about? Right? As you can imagine, it's like, oh, it's a big dome, it's immersive, it's crazy, it's going to be, yeah, it's so awesome. But we've been able to get a lot of great brand recognition this year, just 5 months after launch. I would love to see in the next 3 years, everyone just knows what a Cosm is. And as the market evolves, people might say, oh, that's like Cosm, or when is Cosm coming to my city?
So, Kelly, this is like an immersive experience. If you go to one of these venues, you feel like you're at the game. It's hard to really talk about it in words. It's a lot easier, I think, if you experience it. Jeb Terry, the CEO, told me that he's even getting calls now from Europe and other countries that want to bring these Cosm venues into their city to give fans a unique way to watch their favorite live sports.
Weird. So it's almost like going to a movie theater or something. It's like another venue.
You know, I asked him, would you think about branching out beyond sports? And he said to me, you know, this could also be a cinematic experience. So
going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, The fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.